Hey, it's day 13 of showing up for ourselves consistently. We are on our way to Best Buy. I have to get some printer ink because I'm dropping off my tax documents today, and I thought I had escaped needing to print anything, but I did not. And therefore, I have to make this trip to Best Buy to get some printer ink for this one document that I need to print, and then we will be heading to the tax office to drop everything off. So, you all, of course, will be going along for the day with whatever activities I have planned for today. I don't have activities planned for today. This is legit the only thing I actually have planned, which is the dropping off of the tax documents. But y'all go on with us, so that's that. And we will probably go ahead and take you all in the store with us too, because why not, right? Because why not? Romeo's stepping up to say, hey, y'all, hey. You saying hi, boo thing, boo? Yeah. Said we going to the store. Yes. All right, so we'll see y'all in a few. So I'm also attempting to do some recording with this Insta360. So we'll see what that footage looks like. It seems to be secured a little better with just a t-shirt as the material. So we'll see what that footage looks like. Romeo, do you have anything you want to add? No? Okay. Best Buy just like that, and we are going to Jamba Juice now because I want a smoothie. Just got a taste for something like tangy, so I might do the white gummy or I might do the mango. I'm also hungry though, so I don't know if I'm gonna like get one of their little pretzels. They also have a chicken empanada now. It's really small though, but get that, or if I'm just gonna try to eat some of the leftovers from yesterday before I head out to the tax people. We're gonna figure that out. But in the meantime, to Jamba we go. I'll be right back. Okay, so the girl at Jamba said that their pretzel tastes like pizza, a little bit like pizza, and it comes with marinara sauce. So That's that. Went with the Aloha pineapple smoothie. So let's see. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, let's get this printer ink changed out. Let me see. So we got another package today. So we're gonna go ahead. Here I go with these scissors, right? And see, I think it's the wig I ordered that I wanted to wear this weekend. Elastic strap to make sure that the wig band, and make sure your wig is nice and snug. And then I don't know, I guess some kind of reward you can scan the cards. They give you a label to kind of grab it to label your wig if you want to, and then they give you like a storage bag. You being nosy? Yeah, you being nosy? You gonna bring me the ball? Well, that's not bringing the ball to me, Romeo. Hey, so I wanted to hop on here and talk about something that I encountered earlier today when a friend reached out to share their understandable frustration over the current economy of job searching, because he was frustrated that he had not even a bite of an interview within the past 5 months, and he's been laid off for a little bit longer than that. And that's an understandable frustration, and I know that there are a lot of people going through that right now. So I figured I would hop on here and just share some of the things that I shared with him, because one of the main things he brought up was that he felt he was being discriminated against because of his age, which could be a real thing, because you just never know who the gatekeepers are at the organizations that you're trying to get into. And you have to do the best you can to mitigate any risk of, one of them like discounting you for some biased reason. So as far as age is concerned, you want to make sure that your resume does not go back, I would say, farther than 10 years. If you need to go 12, maybe 15, that should be fine. But if at all possible, no more than 10 years back. You can still list the experiences or the companies you've worked for prior to that 10 years, or in your earlier days, if it's relevant to the job that you're applying for. But you just kind of list that in a section titled other experience, other professional experience, or something like that. And you don't have to ground it in a specific start end date like you would do the more recent experience that you've had. And then the other thing I would say is make sure you don't have any dates associated with any degrees you've obtained that could show that you are a little bit older. So you don't need to tell them that you got your bachelor's degree in 1990, whatever. Just you got the bachelor's degree, and then you got the master's degree, and maybe you got the doctorate degree. You don't need to list the year that you attained those degrees on your resume. And while we're at it, thinking about gatekeepers, Don't put your exact address on your resume because, yes, some people will look at your address. They might even Google your address just to see what kind of neighborhood you live in, and they may make some judgment calls based on that. And you just want to mitigate any kind of bias that you can coming up into the process of even just getting a foot in the door to get your resume in front of the right person. The other thing I would mention is just making sure your resume is ATS ready. So ATS being applicant tracking system. Those are the systems that scan your resume before a real person even sees it. And those can scan you out or filter you out, like I said before, a real live person actually gets their hands on it. So you want to make sure that your resume is reflecting the skills that are mentioned in that job description so that the ATS can pick up those words and push you forward. If they don't, you're just going to get an automatic rejection letter. So make sure that your resume shows that you meet the minimum requirements on the job posting, and then it has some keywords from that job posting that the ATS system can pick up on to see you as a highly qualified candidate. And then finally, the third thing that I was just making sure to share with him is that you have to try to contact the hiring manager. Like when you're on LinkedIn, it's great. Yeah, you're going to deal with the recruiters most of the time. But sometimes if you can get in touch with the hiring manager, they can help pull your resume through the process and say, hey, this person reached out to me. I'm interested in talking to them. They said that they applied to the role. Can you look for their resume, in the system and shoot it over to me? So that's one way that can work, and why I always encourage others who are in the same predicament to not just send in an application, because it could very quickly feel like it's just going into a black hole, and to some extent it kind of is. But send the resume and then try to find people on LinkedIn who are connected to that company or connected to that opportunity or even the department that opportunity falls in, and try to make a connection with them there and get a chat going with them, because that can help. Like they say, it's not always what you know, it's who you know. And I would say you can do this even if you don't know the person personally, even if it's not a first or second connection. That does not matter. What matters is how you approach in a respectful way, that you're very clear and direct about the reason for reaching out, and then you give them the opportunity to respond, however they see fit. I always say, what's the worst that can happen? They don't respond, or they say, no, I'm not going to talk to you. Then you're back to where you started in the first place. You haven't lost anything. So those were just some of the thoughts that I had for today, and some of the thoughts that I shared with my friend, because I think it's just real important. It's easy to get discouraged during times like this, and that energy start to take over your psyche. As with my friend and anyone who's in a predicament like this, I try to be encouraging and supportive in my words and uplifting, because the bottom line is what God has for you is for you, and it is coming. That doesn't mean you aren't going to see some no's. You might see a lot of no's, but you are going to see that yes. You're going to see the yes that is meant for you. And your job is just to stay prepared, stay ready for it. And that means mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever the opportunity is, you just need to stay ready. Because in my opinion, it's never really about luck. It's about being at the intersection of opportunity and readiness. So your job is just to stay ready. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's vlog and found value in some of the pointers I provided. So keep showing up for yourself, and I'll do the same. See you later.